This is Yerevan, and today we're showing you luxury living in the capital of Armenia. This is how to live like a king. What I've always loved about Armenia is there's a historical culture of immigration where people move overseas, they learn great things in those places, and they bring it back. There's a level of class, a level of organization, a level of efficiency that you probably wouldn't expect here. And it's because you can go as far away as Uruguay and find 40,000 Armenians living there, and they bring that international experience back. What is a good woman in Armenia?
I think that it's a woman who has nice personality, kind heart, a sharp mind.
What's interesting here is that 24-year-old woman may very well know literature, geography, geopolitics. No 24-year-old woman in California who are going around talking about Tolstoy and Pushkin.
It's not only Tolstoy and Pushkin, but Armenian woman, and in general in Armenia, education level is very high.
Welcome to Renommée. For this evening, you will enjoy our set menu. The whole set menu, it represents Armenian traditional cuisine, but in contemporary approach. We will leave it for your judgment.
Always best to start at the top.
Let's try it.
We're here at Renommée. It's one of the most talked about restaurants in Yerevan. We were at Live Like a King in Madrid. We spent $400 for an experience like this. Here in Yerevan, you spend barely $100 for an amazing farm-to-table fine dining experience.
Here in a small tartet we have dish which is built by the three layers. First bottom layer is mushrooms from diligence which are fried. The second layer is very special cream made from egg cream. Which will give you the whole feelings and aromas of this dish. And the top layer decorated with potato chips, freshly sliced truffles, and microgreens.
So you're going to New York in December.
Yes, exactly.
You have my condolences.
So we are having a charity gala in New York, and this is about our 21st gala event. Our charity is Children of Armenia. It's one of the best and one of the biggest charity foundations in Armenia.
Eggplant very widespread in Armenia. It's small, interesting and tasty too. Also we have very good consistency based on fried eggplant with additional sheep cheese cream, fermented chickpeas paste, and also sesame oil. All these ingredients together will give you unforgettable aftertaste.
And yet it's very much a community in Armenia. People are tightly connected here, I think.
Here, people, they raise their kid very kind. I'm talking about 99%.
One of the things that I find so interesting in Armenia is it is such a very conservative country.
So yes, we are conservative, but with that also, Armenian people, they are very modern.
I'm wondering if there's even a dating culture here so much as a meeting to get married culture.
Okay, so here girls are more reserved. It is kind of hard to convince a girl to go on a date.
How young would a girl get married in Yerevan?
I think that the average is like 23, 24.
Shall we get married at the end of this dinner?
Okay, I agree. I said yes. Where is my ring? Maybe that's for good reason.
Everything happens for a reason, as you say. I heard this once, that the guy who gets the girl asks her 20 or 30 times. You'd be thrown in prison in California for doing that, but here it's like 6 times, buddy.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
Yeah, there is something like that, because here we raise with the mentality that if you want something and if you really want something, you have to fight for it. It should never stop you, so you have to fight for something you love.
So I'm one marriage proposal down.
Let's see.
So you can see that not only is there a lot of natural beauty to be discovered in the world, but you can come to cities like Yerevan and experience amazing fine dining. And you can discover cultures that are different than your own. If you're looking for something different, you don't have to stay where you are. There are places where people are more conservative, where they think different. You can go where you're treated best. These places are open to you. As you've seen, there are so many places in the world that you can live like a king. You want to find the best place for you. Where do you do that? Well, you go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply. I've been training a team. We've had over 100 people now, but I've been training them for years on how to help people like yourself figure out where they want to live, where they want to have as a plan B, where they want their residence, their citizenship, their tax home. There's so many different pieces to this puzzle of being a nomad capitalist. You want someone to put all the pieces together for you. We can help you do that better than anyone else because we invented this system. Go where you're treated best and go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply. Learn how we can help you, whether it's here in Yerevan or in dozens of other places we've helped our clients move over the years. I don't live in Yerevan, but I imagine the sweetness and yet the sophistication of Tom Ford Noir de Noir is the perfect scent for today's adventure. The Alexander has one of the sexiest pools of any hotel in this region. We're going to steam and we're going to saunter. Armenia has done a great job of really developing a beautiful city center. The further out you go, the less livable it's going to be. And in some of the rural areas here, there's definitely a long way to go. But this city center is where we're going to be. I love going to opera houses all over Europe. I've never been inside Yerevan's opera house, but we're going to show you not only the international shows like Swan Lake and La Boheme and La Traviata they have coming up, but there's a strong culture here of Armenian composers, Armenian artistry that have come through these halls. People here really appreciate the opera. They appreciate culture in a way you may not find in other places. Let's take a look.
We're currently at the VIP official reception hall of the Armenian National Academic Opera and Ballet Theatre after Alexander Spendiarian. And it's a very famous venue for our elite audience. Here on the walls you can see our legendary artists who has had their historical input in the foundation and preservation of this cultural edifice. So here you can see very famous Geram Grigoryan, who is to be world-leading tenor. Very famous Ohan Durian, who was another legendary conductor, and our diva Gohar Gasparian. Tatevik Sazandarian, national treasure of the opera art. Next stop will be our foyer. On the walls you can see our legends as well. Those are our famous composers. This building was officially opened in 1933. Tamanyan had an idea to reflect the best of our Armenian traditional architecture forms, but he could bring this edifice to a contemporary language, and he translated his traditional vision into contemporary resonance. This theater has two different halls. So one concert hall from the other side, so it's a semicircle, and the other side is the theater. So Armenian Concert Hall has like 1,400 seats, and our theater hall has 1,200
And
seats.
where do performances come from?
So we have as national and also international artists performing in our house. So we have our national productions, we have invited conductors, directors that currently visit our theaters. So we're going to have soon opera Otello. So it's a collaboration with Italy.
Yeah.
We have a lot of Italian conductors and artistic directors. Yeah.
So a lot of international shows.
Yes, a lot of international shows, and also, but we give a very important niche to our national productions as well.
Yeah.
And I should mention that our theater is the only theater that holds 3 ballets of Aram Khachaturian. This is Gane, Spartacus, and Masquerade.
What's the best suite in the house? The presidential box?
Yes.
And can I buy a seat in that box?
Never.
Yeah.
Only if
only
you're
invitation.
Invited, yes, and only if you are our VIP guest.
VIP guest.
You have it.
So the best seat in the house I can buy is one of these lower boxes here.
You can.
Yeah.
Yes, we can negotiate.
Armenian, pleasure.
It's a pleasure to see you here in our store.
Thank you. This is one of the preeminent watch stores in Armenia, as I know.
Yeah, of course. We're one of a kind, let's say. We have a huge selection of different types of watches in different segments.
And we're right here on Northern Avenue, which is the best street to be on.
Yeah, of course. Of course, the location is great for this kind of store to be in the heart of the Yerevan. We prepared some special watches for you on the second floor. Let's go there.
So if I compare the prices for a fine watch in Armenia to those that you would get in Paris or somewhere in Europe, where Armenians might go, how does that compare?
So the prices are everywhere the same. The only thing that the VAT is different in each country. And maybe because of the VAT there will be some slightly changes, but for tourists, because of the tax refund, it's higher than in European countries.
It's a higher tax refund than Europe. And so this watch is how much?
So the price in euro, it's 46,700.
And do you normally sell watches in euros or in dollar terms here? Or in dram?
In dram, of course, because our customers mostly locals.
Yeah.
And
the currency doesn't fluctuate so much. It's not like the Turkish lira or something where it's always going down and you have to adjust your local price.
No.
You can pretty stably price them in dram without worrying about losing money. So, okay, this is the skeleton watch.
That's correct, with a retrograde date display. Also here the historical codes of a breguet, for example, off-center dial. Also, if you turn back the watch and you see the rotor, this rotor was created in 1780. This was the first prototype of an automatic winding pocket watch. And it looks like this. So the name of the collection is Tradition. That's why here in this collection, they keep all traditional codes of the brand. Off-center dial, guilloche technique, also skeletonized dial, this beautiful rotor, which is historical. And if you take a look at the case, this technique called flatting, and this is one of the codes of a breguet. The next one, which was prepared special for you, is Vacheron Constantin 56 collection. Why it called 56? Because it's inspired by the watches from 1956. So it's an ultra-thin watch with an automatic winding system, 40 millimeter case diameter.
It's a 40.
Yep, that's correct. And it's kind of pure, simple design.
I love the throwback watches, 40s, 50s, and yet this obviously is going to hold up a bit better than...
And if you take a look on the shape of the case, they tried to create the Maltese cross lugs with the same shape as the Maltese cross, the logo of the brand.
And by the way, what was the history of the Maltese cross?
So the Maltese cross actually is the component from the barrel. And inside of the barrel there is a small detail which looks like Maltese cross. And they made it a logo of the brand.
Let's look at the next one.
The next one is a Zenith tourbillon. This is actually, yes, it is. This is a 41 millimeter case diameter watch with a tourbillon escapement, let's say.
Yeah, this is more.
Carriage.
It's a little too sporty for me. I mean, this really is my vibe.
Yep, more classic watch.
I like this.
If you know the story behind the El Primero, is the one of the highest frequency movement in the world. For example, this tourbillon has 5 Hertz frequency. And
so, how much is this piece?
So, if we compare with other brand tourbillons, the price is pretty good. In AMD, 26,818,000, 63,000.
63,000.
That's correct.
Euros or dollars?
Euros.
63,000 euros. The dram really has strengthened over the last 2 years. I made a wise decision to purchase dram long ago.
Really?
At 5.20 to the dollar.
That's a good decision.
It's a good decision. Can we look around the rest of the store?
Of course.
Yeah? Let's take a look. If you appreciate how a fine watch movement is made, understand that Nomad Capitalist plans for our clients have the same level of detail of how to match your tax residence and where you lower your taxes to your physical residence, to your citizenships, to where you actually live, what investments you have. How do you make everything that you're doing on a global level work together? You go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply, learn how we can help you with a bespoke approach that we pioneered years ago. Nobody else offers it. Go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply, learn how we can help you, whether it's here in Yerevan or anywhere else in the world.
Hello.
Hi.
Mr. Henderson.
George?
Yes, it's me.
Pleasure to meet you. I've walked by your store so many times.
Yes.
For 8 years, I've never come in, so I'm glad I'm here.
We are glad.
I would have come in much sooner if I knew you were here.
That's so good. You came.
I like this. You put the best. You put the best at the top. Yerevan, Beverly Hills, Monte Carlo. So Stefano Ricci is known for the eagle head mannequins.
Because he liked to hunt. He was a hunter.
Okay.
Until now, he's hunting.
Wow. Well, show us around. The biggest coffee table book probably in recorded human history.
Yes.
This is my life aspirations right here. Let me just, if I may, this is life goals. Okay, this book is for sale for 1,200 euros.
Yeah.
Is this the guy? I need to learn more.
You can begin from the ties. Then.
Okay.
Mr. Stefano Ricci, he began with the ties because he was one of the fans of ties of Hermès, and the silk is the best quality. In Florence, they are making the fabrics in Florence. It's a handmade 100%.
Yeah.
Every one is making from 7 to 9 ties in the day. The
one
they
person.
are searing, yeah.
Wow.
It's
almost like only going to 7 to 9 locations for Live Like a King in a day.
This is the visit card of Mr. Stefano Ricci.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Swarovski.
Real Swarovski crystal?
Yes, of course. If you want to have something from Stefano Ricci, you love the brand, you must have a tie.
How much does a good tie cost, handmade in Florence?
This tie costs more or less 300 euros.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's comparable with a lot of ties.
Yeah. We got the king's chair here.
Oh, yeah? I'll have to take a seat here. Armenians are pretty well dressed, would you say?
Yeah, 80%.
80%?
Yeah.
The other 20% are a lost cause. You know, I don't cheat on Tom Ford.
Yeah, I
got a little love affair.
I can make you cheat. I will cheat on Tom with.
Yeah. All right. Let me see.
Please. It's me. cobalt.
That's for a sweet tooth, and I have a sweet tooth for fragrance.
Yeah,
That's really sweet.
yeah.
Hello, thank you. This is service.
This is our shirts. It's a special. There is no, you can't see that they put it inside.
There's no collar stay in that.
Yes. It's like a silk, but it's not silk. It's a cotton, 100%.
Is that actual mother of pearl?
Yes, of course.
And it's this interesting octagon
It's
shaped buttons.
Yeah. He's Stefano Ricci's shape. You saw the perfumes too. They are in eight angles.
But these are pretty interesting.
This one, when
The best part of Loro Piana was nobody knew Loro Piana.
yeah. They are trying this one. It's very comfort inside.
Yeah.
They're wearing, it's a comfort.
That is, it's like almost like a Born or any of those very walkable shoes.
It's very comfortable.
Well, this is great. Well, thank you for showing us your store. It's
Thank
really,
you
really
for
so much of a
coming.
pleasure.
It was a pleasure
It's a great
to
introduction.
see you.
You've heard that Armenians love diamonds. You've seen the watches. Now we're going to show you some of the city's best jewelry. We're here in central Yerevan at La Orange Gold. Let's shine bright like a diamond.
Hello.
Hi, Anahit. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. So you're diamonds.
Yes, I'm diamond.
All things diamonds.
Yes.
Yeah.
We shine like a diamond.
Ooh. I hate that's mine.
I am Sargsyan, the owner of L'Orange Gold Boutique, and our boutique offers a selection of the most celebrated luxury brands, including Cartier, Hublot, Blancpain, and some nice jewelry like Pasquale Bruni, Crivelli, Mikimoto, and we're very happy to see you here. This is ancient Armenian wall. It's 1916s, and this is very famous sculpture.
Yeah.
This is Ruzana Kurchan.
Wow.
Yes.
You don't just bring the diamonds, you bring the
Yes,
whole walls.
yes. This is our Cartier corner.
Are these the way to any Armenian girl's heart?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can see we have here like few brands like Pasquale Bruni, Crivelli, and here I have jewelry watch also, like with the diamonds.
We were just talking about the Cartier watches.
Yes, of course.
Is this the Ballon Bleu?
Yes, this is Ballon Bleu, 36 millimeters. This is precious watch, and this is one of the best seller from Cartier.
The culture in Armenia, is it more individualistic or is it more of a group culture? I think it's more of a group culture. Follow the group.
Actually, not so. No, I don't think so. You know, in Armenia, women, they like trends, of course.
Yes.
They are very fashion, but at the same time, they are very conservative.
Right. I think there's a certain kind of societal ideal of being more conservative.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the bestseller is something people might want.
Yes, this is one of the best sellers.
What do we have here?
Here we have very nice jewelry pieces. This is Crivelli. Actually, this is my favorite brand, Crivelli. This is very nice, you know. This is actually, this is maybe more commercial, but they have so beautiful jewelry that you can't even find in Bulgari or in Cartier.
In Crivelli from?
Yes, this is from Italy.
Yeah,
yes.
imagine. All right. And so you have diamonds here.
Yes, of course, you have diamonds here,
And on the
you
end.
have gold, and you have rubies.
But this is going to cost about $28,000?
Something like this, yes.
Yeah. Pasquale Bruni.
Pasquale Bruni, yes, this is Italian brand, very famous. Now they have everywhere their own boutiques, in the Middle East, in Paris, in Milano, you can see everywhere. And this is our one of our best sellers, Giardini Segreti, you can see. And now we'd like to show you our jewelry on a model.
This part of the street is older, but I've always said if I were to have an apartment in Armenia, it would be on Pushkin Street. I love the name, love the history, and apparently they just opened a brand new courtyard by Marriott. So the neighborhood's trending up. We're going to have lunch with Sergey Sargsyan now. He's a political commentator. He's an expert on what's happening not only in Armenia, but in this region. And he's going to tell you how this conservative country is more open than ever, not only for business, but for people to relocate here, what that means for investment opportunities, and why it should be on your radar. Boss, how are you?
Hi.
Andrew Henderson, pleasure. People don't know about Armenia is it was, I think you would say, the first Christian country. 1,700 years of Christianity. And what does that reflect, do you think, here in the culture?
I think it has to do with the fact that when a country is small in territory, we need more elements to hang on to feel that we're important and to be proud of.
And the service culture here is, I think people wouldn't expect that. There's just a commitment, I think, to service.
I think it's the other point of pride we have. It has to do with hospitality. So we're hospitable, and we like impressing people, making people feel good.
I'm curious, though, Armenia historically was more eastward looking. I mean, a couple of years ago, Armenian citizens got visa-free access to China. There's talk of moving westward, and yet, you know, there was talk a couple of years ago of Armenians getting visa-free access to go to Europe. Hasn't materialized. Is the westward movement still happening, or what is it people want here?
I mean, it's a kind of a philosophical question. Where do we move, westward or eastward, when you are pretty much confined to the geography that you have? Wherever we see better survival options, we'll just act on the hunch. And we are looking for better options, if any.
That's very much a trend these days in the world. I mean, look at a place like Southeast Asia. We had Live Like a King in Kuala Lumpur. And you see 75% of Malaysians say, yeah, we want to be with the Chinese rather than in the Americans if we had to have a choice. One of the historically most American allied countries in Southeast Asia now saying, you know, what are we getting from this? And I think Armenia has made that same decision, but in a different way. Is there an openness to the West? Because the culture is certainly very different.
We are consuming all the Western pop culture. We watch the movies, the soap operas, TV shows, I don't know, books, where there are brands, there are clothes. So it's hard to say that we are confined to a specific culture here or there, but we also read Russian literature. I think we're open to the West.
What do you think as an Armenian about Trump getting reelected?
He's rough and rude and non-politically correct, which is appealing to Armenians. We think of ourselves as blunt speaking and not, you know, trying to cover our speech into politeness and courtesy.
Really?
To a degree, obviously. We're
not savages.
Screaming and cursing here and there, yeah. But we really don't like this cheesy talk that is, it seems like that you have heard that conversation thousands of times.
Tell us about the some of the food here.
I tell you, we have this basturma. This is, well, Armenian meat that has survived centuries, and the legend has it that it still comes from the Mongol times. And that's how Mongols conquered China, because the Chinese were having all these plant-based foods, and the Mongols were having this protein. That's why they had better, stronger armies.
So I think there's a lot of entrepreneurship in this culture. What do people think about business and capitalism here?
Armenians are very good entrepreneurs, but usually they succeed abroad. But in Armenia, it's harder because the market is so much smaller. But now with tourism, yeah, we have a lot of more opportunities, and now it's so much easier. People working in IT, they make their money from companies abroad, and they're just freelancing, sitting at their houses here. It's very convenient.
It's easier to do that here now than it would have been before when you said, let's go abroad.
Yeah.
We talk to a lot, I mean, we have people working for us. We talk to Miss Armenia, so many people that are in their 20s. Why would I leave? I like it here. It's not worth it in California. You ought to build up the airline and make this a mini hub for people like me who are going from Europe to Asia. There's a growing number of competition there, but you're seeing more countries doing that. I think we need to get more people to see it.
In terms of tourists, I think we are very close to, you know, a very good number that would suffice to have a very robust economy.
Well, good to see you here in Yerevan, and good luck with the show.
Thank you.
Off TV and onto YouTube.
Yeah, and good luck to you.
Welcome. together. These are all new buildings, not the ancient buildings that you'll see on Abovian or Pushkin, as Miss Armenia told us. But these go for a very high price because people who live overseas want to live on this pedestrian Northern Avenue. Years ago, it was $5,000 a meter. I imagine they've only gone up in price since then. You see a lot of money coming into this country from Armenians overseas who want to have a hub here. And you can do the same. You can have a country that you're connected to. Maybe it's a citizenship by descent. Maybe it's just a place that you like. Buy an apartment, you leave it. It's been a great investment for a lot of people here. We're here at the Nomad Capitalist offices in Yerevan. We bought this a couple years ago for cash because we had a sizable team in Yerevan. We've become more global with our 100-person team, but we still have folks who work here. And it's turned out to be a good, small little investment. We paid about $167,000 based on the price at that time of 86 million dram. Since then, the dram has significantly appreciated against the dollar. We've been talking to you about that over the last couple of years. And so just in dollar terms, the value has gone up. But we paid $167, we renovated it for $45, and now it's worth about $400,000. Very low operating costs. It served as a good place for our team here in Yerevan to work. But I think there are a couple flags you could be planting here in Armenia. One that we've talked about over the years is banking. You can open a bank account with a very, very low balance, as low as $1 at some banks, or just a couple $1,000s at others. The challenge is that most of the banks now want you to be a resident. And so we've helped clients 3 or 4 years ago get residence just by donating $5,000 or investing in very small projects that they found out there. Today, if you hire a couple of employees in a company, maybe if you make a real estate investment like this in the proper structure, you can get a residence permit up to 10 years, but more likely up to 5 years. And with that residence permit, you can take advantage of banking here. You've got some relatively stable banks. The largest bank was just bought out by Bank of Georgia. You've got international banks. There's the French connection here. So you've got a couple of flags you can plant in Armenia. Having a residence permit doesn't mean you have to live here. Having a bank account doesn't mean this is where you need to move all your money. But if you do move some money here, interest rates on the dram are very high, 8, 9, 10%, and you can hold different currencies, including those you wouldn't find in the West.
Hello, Mr. Henderson.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I see they're doing all this construction. This was 2 years ago, was nothing.
Yeah.
It's like a junkyard.
Yeah, they started really very fast. However, we really hope that they will finish very soon.
Is it loud?
Not that much. We are able to work.
Yeah. Well, this is a huge office for what we paid for it, and it seems like real estate here is done well.
The market is really good now.
Yeah. And I'm glad to see that we have people now on every continent. Mm-hmm. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. I'm really happy that we're expanding.
Yeah. So we have, we had somebody in Lebanon.
Yes, we have in South Africa, we have some people from Ireland, we have from Serbia, we have from Turkey already.
Yeah, Colombia a lot.
Colombia,
What do you
yes.
think about, what do you feel about the Turks working here now?
Currently we have only one citizen from Turkey.
From Turkey?
Yeah, she's doing quite good.
She's doing well, yeah. Yeah, South America's been good. Colombia,
Yes.
Argentina, I think. Yeah.
Argentina, yes.
Yeah. So, okay, well, I hope it's onwards and upwards. I saw you guys got some more good reviews.
Yes.
So that's always good. You have a child who's American, I hear.
Yes, he is a U.S. citizen.
We were talking to Miss Armenia about this yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. She said she would not, she's like, she doesn't want to leave Armenia. She's like, 10 days is my maximum. After that, I want to go back to Armenia.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I couldn't give birth in the U.S.
Maybe that's my child's plan C or D, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe your plan A is going to be filling out tax returns when he gets a lawn mowing route.
Maybe.
Well, anyway, yeah, keep doing a good job. I'm working a lot on Live Like a King. I'm working a lot on the next Nomad Capitalist Live. We've got some new, really good speakers coming up. So it's like a year-round effort now. And it's good to see you.
Thank you for the trust.
Armenia has French banks, Armenia has Russian banks, they even have an Iranian bank. And so what do I tell you? You want to be diversified for the growing multipolarity in the world. This is the kind of country that plays nice with both sides. Obviously, you don't want to maybe get into bed with the Iranian bank, that could cause you problems. But if you have some diversification outside of just the Western financial system, that wouldn't be the worst thing to have. And this is the kind of place you can come and do that affordably. I haven't spent as much time here in Armenia as I do in many other countries, including neighboring Georgia, which we've talked about a lot. But I first came here 9 years ago because I felt that this region has a lot of opportunities. You can see that Armenians are really proud of everything from their fresh food to their amazing wines to their culture. We're going to go to the Nane brandy factory. This is one of the largest brandy makers here in Armenia. It's something that they're really good at, and they're going to show us how they make it.
Dear guests, we are greeting you to Yerevan Arad Brandy Wine Vodka Factory. My name is Kanarik, I will be your tour guide. We're starting the tour over the factory. Let's go.
Let's go.
This factory was established as a winery in 1865 by an Armenian merchant, Avetisyan, who built the first wine factory here. It should be mentioned that the war between Russia and Iran took place here. This the display of Noah. Actually, Noah it is in Armenian language. In English, we say Noah.
And the idea was Noah's Ark was found on Mount Ararat, right?
Right, absolutely true. These 3 bottles are considered to be holy bottles. Why? Because they have been on Mount Ararat in 2017. An Armenian alpinist, Vartan Vartanyan, climbed Mount Ararat with a group of alpinists. They took with them 8 bottles of Noy cognacs, 5 of which they drank on the mountain. These 3 they brought back with them. So that's why we keep those, and they are very important for our factory. This is the old cellar of our factory, where we keep not only the cognac, but also the wine of our factory. In the small barrels, we are aging cognac. In the big ones, we keep wine. Exactly in these 2 barrels, the wine is called Malaga. It is from 1913. Oh, by the way, all of the barrels are made of oak wood, and the oak tree itself should be no less than 70 years old for barrel production. Why? Because oak wood itself gives smell and color and taste to drink. And also, I would like to mention the words of Winston Churchill. Once Winston Churchill said, "Don't be late for your lunch, smoke Havanese cigars, and drink Armenian brandy." Those are the documented words by Winston Churchill.
Do we get a barrel? Live Like a King was proudly filmed here. I want this one over here, please. Hello.
Hello.
Good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes.
How are you?
I need a zip. Can I get another zip?
Serious question. In Georgia and Armenia, everyone calls it like a shot is like a zip, like zips up the back with no bones. I know you're too young for that reference.
No. I love 1930 films.
Really? Where is it you're watching 1930s cinema?
With my mother. My mom loves it so much.
To the women. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing a place that you probably never thought about living in, let alone that you could live like a king. We've helped our clients over the years get residence permits, open bank accounts in Armenia, get their citizenship by descent, and expand their options, because the countries where you can expand your options are often the ones that you never will think about. They're the ones that aren't talked about. And so this is a place that's conservative. It's a place for someone who's looking for a conservative place, who wants that kind of lifestyle, but wants to have some of the good life. Make sure to subscribe and never miss a future Live Like a King. Go to nomadcapitalist.com/king to see all of our past episodes. Until next time, Happy New Year and good night from Yerevan. This is Oman, and today we're showing you luxury living in its beautiful capital city of Muscat. Now we're going to show you one of the sexiest luxury villas here in Oman. We're going to show you how to live like a king